The United States Supreme Court has issued landmark rulings that dramatically expand presidential authority. These decisions shift the balance of power, granting President Trump and future presidents greater freedom from judicial oversight. The rulings limit lower courts' ability to block presidential policies and make it harder to hold presidents legally accountable for official acts. The conservative majority favors a stronger executive branch, arguing this restores the presidency's intended role. Critics, including Justice Sotomayor, warn these changes dismantle vital safeguards and risk executive overreach. The debate is fierce. Are these rulings a necessary correction or a threat to democracy? The impact is immediate. Policies on immigration and executive orders can now move forward with fewer legal obstacles. For the Trump administration, this clears a path for stalled agenda items. Understanding these rulings is key to grasping the current political moment. They are not just legal theories. They have real consequences for every American. The Supreme Court has sharply limited the use of nationwide injunctions, orders from a single judge blocking a presidential policy nationwide. Previously, opponents could halt major initiatives with one lawsuit. Now, court decisions will apply only to those directly involved. This change means opponents must win many cases across the country to stop a policy, raising the bar for legal challenges. The ruling strengthens the executive branch, allowing policies to be enforced while litigation drags on. President Trump has long criticized judge shopping, and sees this as a victory against judicial obstruction. The administration can now pursue its goals with less fear of immediate nationwide blocks. Immigration and other key policies can move forward during lengthy court battles. The decision marks a major shift in the balance between the courts and the presidency. It's a game changer for how presidential power is checked. The Supreme Court also ruled that presidents have absolute immunity from criminal prosecution for official acts. This means actions within a president's core constitutional powers are fully protected, while other official acts are presumed immune. Only private actions remain clearly prosecutable. The ruling creates a powerful legal shield, making it extremely difficult to hold a president accountable for most conduct in office. This principle allowed President Trump to avoid a federal trial on election-related charges, as courts must now decide which acts are official. Critics argue this undermines the idea that no one is above the law and opens the door to abuse of power. A president could now push legal boundaries, claiming immunity for controversial executive actions. The decision fundamentally changes presidential accountability. Supporters see it as necessary protection for effective governance. The question remains, how do you hold a president accountable under this new standard? President Trump and his supporters have celebrated these Supreme Court decisions as historic victories. The president called them a win for the Constitution and the rule of law, framing himself as a defender of the constitutional order. The administration sees these rulings as correcting judicial overreach and restoring executive power. Supporters believe the decisions validate their agenda and curb political obstruction through the courts. The practical effects are immediate. The administration is moving quickly on immigration and other priorities. Recent Supreme Court decisions have allowed controversial policies to proceed, even if they face future legal challenges. The conservative majority on the court, shaped by Trump's appointments, has been pivotal. These victories have solidified a powerful alliance between the White House and the court. For the administration, these are not just legal wins, they're political milestones with lasting impact. The long-term consequences of these rulings are profound, shifting power toward the presidency. By granting greater immunity and limiting court challenges, the Supreme Court has reshaped the office itself. Critics warn this erodes democratic norms and risks unchecked executive authority. Justice Sotomayor's dissent warns that no right is safe under this new regime. Supporters argue the changes make the presidency more effective and constitutionally sound. The new legal landscape allows presidents to implement sweeping policies with fewer obstacles. Immunity for official acts insulates the president from prosecution, encouraging bold action. The result, a more powerful, less constrained executive branch. These decisions force a national conversation about accountability and the future of American democracy. How future presidents use this power, and how Americans respond, will define the republic's next chapter.